Farm Radio Show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, as Art Lewis said, wrapping things up for 2024. Lots of things to talk about, and we'll try to cover as much of it as we possibly can here in the next 28, 29 minutes. Right now, weather seems to be the big news, simply because not only are we going to have plenty of clouds around, but it looks like maybe a little bit of snow, especially for southern Michigan, as we wrap up the year here later on this afternoon and this evening. Currently 36 degrees at the airport. It is 34 here at Radio Center. We do have a northeast breeze at about 13, so downtown Midland a little bit warmer at 36. Downtown Bay City is at 35. 29.70 and steady is the barometric pressure. We do have a wind chill. It's currently 27 degrees. 29.7 holding steady. The barometer looks as though that's going to be dropping though a little bit as we go into the later afternoon and the evening hours. Low pressure is going to be moving through the Ohio River Basin. It's currently situated over southern Illinois. It'll be moving through Indiana, Ohio, take up residence over Toledo a little bit later on this afternoon and this evening, and eventually wind up at midnight over Buffalo, New York, still continuing to head in an east-northeasterly direction. What are we looking at as far as temperatures go? Well, across the state, we do have a handful at 40, 41 degrees. They're all in southern Michigan, Benton Harbor and Detroit leading the way. Not all that chilly as far as northern Michigan goes. Everywhere in the state, we're looking at low to mid 30s with, as we said, a couple of exceptions down in southern Michigan. But as we go through the afternoon, those temperatures in southern Michigan are going to begin to drop. And that's why they are going to be in a snow band that will kick in a little bit later on this afternoon and this evening. So if you do plan on traveling to the south, especially south of a line from, let's say, Port Huron, Sarnia, down toward Benton Harbor, Grand Haven, right around in there, everything to the south of that line is going to have snow. For north of the line, which would include us, we are going to be looking at maybe a flurry or two, and that's going to be about it. And obviously, the further north you get, the lower the probability of precipitation is going to be there. So traveling up north shouldn't be all that bad. If you're in search of snow, you're going to have to travel way north. Very few cities in northern Michigan, with the exception of, let's say, Gaylord and over in the Traverse City area, very few cities looking at more than an inch of snow on the ground as of right now. And when you get up in the Upper Peninsula, you've got to go other than Sault Ste. Marie, which claims they have about 6-7 inches on the ground. You've got to go way over to the far west side of the UP before you begin to see any measurable amount of snow. That's the way it's going to be as we roll through the next few days. Scattered snow showers are going to be around as the day goes on, but again, widely scattered. That's going to be the forecast. Then as we move into the nighttime hours tonight, after a high of about 37, so we really don't have too much warmer to go, 31 is going to be our low tonight. Again, we're going to be looking at scattered snow showers around, especially close to the water, maybe because of a northeast, and eventually a northwest breeze. We're going to see a northeast breeze as we go through the remainder of the afternoon. And then it's gradually going to change to the north and then to the northwest. When it turns north, that's when we're going to see the chance of some snow showers around. I think we're going to have a better chance of seeing some freezing precipitation, that being in the form of freezing rain and not snow, but no big accumulation of freezing rain as we go through the afternoon and into the evening hours. That's just not going to happen. So clouds, scattered snow showers, light in nature, mixed in with a little bit of frozen precipitation. 31 is going to be our low with a northwest wind, and we will see that northwest wind begin to climb. It'll be gusting out of the northwest at 25 miles per hour on New Year's, well, the turn of New Year's Day, right around midnight or so. Now, tomorrow, still mostly cloudy skies. If there is going to be any precipitation, it'll be right off the bat tomorrow. 34 is going to be our high temperature. For those that do get snow, and again, I think that's going to be a little bit further south in the Great Lakes Bay area, a couple inches, maybe 3, that's going to be it. So once again, traveling south, be advised, you are going to run into some slick roads and a little bit more winter-like conditions. 23 is going to be our low tomorrow night. We'll have a west wind tomorrow, again, gusting up to about 25 miles per hour pretty much all day and into the evening hours. What that wind is going to do as we go through the day tomorrow and into tomorrow night, it's going to clear our skies. So later on tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, we will be looking at partly cloudy skies. And we'll start the day off on January the 2nd, Thursday, with partly cloudy skies, but then the clouds will be moving in, and we'll also, once again, have a chance of some flurries around with a west wind gusting to 25 miles per hour. We will have a wind chill to contend with. 28 is going to be our forecast for a high on Thursday, 20 for a low on Thursday night. Once again, the clouds will be moving in. And then we're going to have cloudy skies pretty much all the way through the end of the week and in through the weekend. Upper 20s for a high on Friday, 20 degrees for a low on Friday night. Normal high for this time of the year is 31, and the normal low is 19. So we're going to be pretty close, if not maybe a tad below normal on the temperatures. Same thing holds true for Saturday and Sunday. We're going to be looking at mid to upper 20s for afternoon high temperatures, 20 degrees, 18 degrees for a low on Saturday night and then Sunday night. Then we're going to keep our eye on a system. Right now, it's debatable on what this system is going to do. We don't know the path of it yet. What's going to happen is the low pressure system is going to take effect. It'll be in Oklahoma, northern sections of Texas, Arkansas, and that low is going to move into and through the Tennessee Valley and eventually the Ohio River. That's going to be on Sunday night and Monday. So the chances of measurable amount of snow will increase rather dramatically if that system maintains the pathway that we think it's going to take. So that means that Monday could be a snowy day, and we very possibly could see some measurable amount of snow out of that system. The odds are still 50-50 right now, but this will probably be the best chance of seeing measurable amount of snow coming down in several days. Long range outlook to take us all the way through the 13th of the month is for our temperatures to be averaging below normal for this time of the year. Precipitation pattern next week, because of that system, it's going to be above normal as far as what's average. Then we're going to settle back down just a little bit the tail end of next week and into the second weekend of January. Precipitation pattern will be a whole lot closer to normal, but the temperatures will be ranging below normal. Record high in the state is 62. That was set back in 1965. The record low was 7 below zero, set in 1976. A year ago today, 35 was our high, 31 was our low. We did pick up about 1/10 of an inch of snow on the 31st of December a year ago. So that would make at year's end about 2.1 inches of snow for the month of December last year, and for the snow season, a little bit better than 3.5 inches of snow. That compares this year So far for the month of December here in the Great Lakes Bay area, we've picked up 6.3 inches of snow. For the calendar snow year, 6.4. Warmest ever, December the 31st, 1965. 62 was our high, 38 was our low. The coldest ever, you got to go back 3 more years from that, 1962. The most amount of snow on this date, 8.6 inches. And that was set back in 1978. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, I've got Abby Terwilliger from the Andersons. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer will be joining us as well. But before we get to that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives fertilizer. They've been unlocking potential in every drill, drive for biocatalyst technology for both
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth. They've got those Farmall tractors ready to go. Whatever the job is that you need to have done, it's always a good idea to buy something that you know you can get that job done and that you're not paying for a lot of excess power or a little bit bigger than what you really need, because obviously you got to pay for it. Well, the folks at Weiss Equipment still have that special pricing available to you. But again, it all expires today. So if you do want to pick up a Case IH Farmall tractor, check them out. They're still open and they're ready to take care of you. Remember, they'll advise you on the size of the tractor you need. You can select anywhere from the value packed compact Farmall A all the way up to the deluxe compact Farmall C and C series with cabs. Can-do comes in red, remember that. And red is what Farmall tractors are. And they're available today at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. We say good morning to Abby Terwilliger over at the Andersons. Abby, you getting ready for the new year?
Oh, yeah. It looks like we're going to end it on a high note, too.
All right. Bring out the champagne.
Yes. Yeah, actually, a Tuesday that the markets are up.
I wonder what's making them feel good. Is just because it's the end of the year?
I think they just feel bad for all these farmers out there after being mean to them all year long.
Boy, they sure have. Any particular sound reasons why?
There's nothing that really sticks out too much. Just kind of rallying off a little bit of lows yesterday, coming down a little bit. Then Russia is, for their wheat, they're thinking that, maybe they won't have quite as much. For soybeans, really good exports. Same with corn as well. Exports are still looking good. So kind of just rallying off that. There isn't one thing in particular that's really, standing out. But that's the reasons that I've seen so far today.
So right now on the board, what do you have, Abby?
Right now on the board, for old crop December or January 406, soybeans 959, red wheat. Hang on, here we go. Red wheat right now 460, white wheat 510.
So overall, has it been a decent year for some of our farmers? Have they been able to figure out how to get a bottom line that looks halfway decent?
Yeah, I think some of them are a little bit more realistic on their goals. But overall, I think given the year that we've had, thankfully there was some good yields in the field to make up for, lack of price.
And as far as some of those good yields, obviously it put a little bit of pressure on our grain elevators as far as receiving and storing and shipping it out.
Yeah, I think it's across the board. Elevators took in way more than they had the last couple of years, especially for corn. And I mean, it's a good problem to have.
Well, and also good, from what I understand, our export business wasn't all that bad either.
Correct. I think if we had a little bit lower crop year and exports were what they are now, we maybe see a little bit more of a price increase because of demand. But like you said, we just had so much crop.
Yeah. Abby, you have yourself a happy New Year's celebration, and we'll talk to you next week, okay?
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Terry.
You bet. Abby Twilliger over at the Andersons. Let's touch base with Doug Klein from Oppenheimer and see what's going on as far as our grain futures are concerned and some of the other related issues on the Chicago Board of Trade. Market report brought to you by Kryzak's House Family Restaurant. If you've got to supply the food for an event coming up in the new year, might be a really good idea to call them at 989-894-5531. Kryzak's House Family Restaurant. They'll supply the food, and you will be a hero at your event. And on behalf of everybody at Kryzak's, they want to wish each and every one of you a happy New Year. They're looking forward to serving you, and not only at your event, but also at the restaurant. They're located on Cass Avenue and Michigan on Bay City's south side. Market report also brought to you by Thumb Bank, serving the needs of agriculture since 1895. You need anything done as far as your operation goes? We talked a little bit about bottom line with Abby. There's a lot of ways that you can tackle those issues if that's what you need. And we're not just talking farmers. We're talking business in general. And they've got locations not only all across the Michigan Thumb area, but also now in the Great Lakes Bay area. Thumb Bank and Trust, where relationships are built on trust. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, we're wrapping things up, and from the sounds of it, Abby says we got a little positive action going on.
Rates are okay. Oil and the energy is mostly up. Last day of the year, end of the year squaring, whatever you want to call it. A hard day to buy anything. Hard day to make any decisions. You just don't know. You don't know who's on the other side and who's doing what. But the stock market was up this morning, and now the Dow is down about 30 points. S&P's down at 10 so percent. The Nasdaq's down about 0.3% still. The Dow's up 14-15% this year. The S&P 20% or so. The Nasdaq 25% or so. It's been a good year. Leave it at that, I guess. Here's your numbers. The March quarter is 457.5, up 5 1/4. September quarter 442, up 4. March soybeans 1006, up 14 1/4. September soybeans 1015.5, 11 1/4. March wheat 550 3/4, up 2.5. And September wheat 579.5, up 1 1/4. Crude oil 71.73, up 74 cents. Heating oil 232, up 1.9 cents. Gasoline is 198.62, up a penny. Central gas 314.5, that is down 12 3/4 cents. Foreign currencies: Canadian dollar, US dollar buys $1.43.95 Canadian, that's up 42 ticks. Dollar buys 157.37 yen, that's up 54 ticks. The euro's at 103.49, and the euro is down 58 ticks. The dollar's at 108.48, that's up 36 ticks. Gold's at 26.45.80, up $19.70. Silver's 29.06, down 79.
Okay. So, got your New Year's plans all set and ready to go?
Yeah, I'm already getting tired.
Better rest up. Rest up. Rest. No. It's 12:01 a.m., not 12:01 p.m. Okay. Doug, you take care. Happy New Year to you and everybody at Oppenheimer and your family. We'll talk to you again Thursday. All righty. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at High Fidelity Genetics. You know, Mr. Farmer, you need to find ways in this market to put a profit on your bottom line. Well, it all starts with saving half the cost of seed before you even get started. High Fidelity Genetics offers non-GMO seed, corn, and soybeans that qualify for organic production. You get high quality, high yielding seed at half the price. Test plots prove you get the best for less with High Fidelity Genetics. Plus, you get more savings if you pay it up by today. Find out more by going to highfidelitygenetics.com. Start today and save. Talking a little bit about the corn and the soybeans. Well, what happened in 24 and what can we look forward to in 25? CJ Miller with Michigan Ag Today files this report.
He says since there is enough field size data available on the new hybrids, growers can plant those with confidence. Early as soybean growers are quicker to jump on adding new varieties because of their proven yield and agronomic advantages.
Your Dairyland seed dealer in this area is Freeland Bean and Grain. They carry the full line of corn and endless soybean seed, proven weed control designed to get you a better harvest. Justin Varner, he's the guy you should be talking to over at Freeland Bean and Grain. Dairyland Seed. They've got seed with your name on it. From your friends at Freeland Bean and Grain since 1983, we're serving you is their business. And I wish each and every one of you a very happy new year. Administration just down the road. The new Trump administration will be kicking off here January the 20th. Lots of activity, lots of talk about what happened with the 2016 administration. As far as farmers were concerned, they were very happy for the Secretary of Agriculture at that time. His name was Sonny Perdue, and Sonny had a lot to do with what the Trump administration did with agriculture back in those years.
Are expressing their concerns over Trump's tariff proposals, what impact it could have on America's farmers and the ag industry.
Be patient. Obviously, I think President Trump is rightfully using an effective tool in order to accomplish fairness for the United States of America.
Teresa, Terry, how are you?
Ag Secretary
Good, I'll put you on hold. Hang on.
Trump says he wants to impose a 60% tariff on all Chinese imports. And he says he's also considering imposing 25% tariffs on Mexican and Canadian imports. They don't clamp down on two things: the immigration issue and the smuggling of fentanyl to the U.S.
Palmer ranks of fentanyl coming into this country? Absolutely not. We won't But again, if I can do something that's not fentanyl, I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit.
Purdue says that Trump will also work to eliminate the ag trade deficit, which was $31.8 billion in fiscal year 2024, according to USDA.
The president also recognizes what an independent food production system we have in this country means for national security. Shame on us if we ever allow ourselves to become dependent on the international efforts for our food supply, as many countries are, including China, which cannot feed their people. So the president understands that.
Most of all, Purdue says that Trump has always expressed his personal concerns for the welfare of America's farmers.
I rarely left the Oval Office when I was secretary. This president didn't ask me, particularly in 2017 and 18. Those are tough times on the we could be talking about anything internationally. He said, Sonny, how are my farmers doing? I said, this president's tough out there. He looked me in the eye, pointed his finger at me and said, you take care of them. I think he means that.
Let's take a look and see what's going on in New York right now. We have Teresa over at Baird & Company. What are we looking at?
Markets are kind of quiet this morning with the Dow Jones Industrial Average down a bit. It's down 59 points at 42,514. 201 million shares traded. NASDAQ down 60 points at 19,424. 569 million there. Some stocks of local interest include Caterpillar at 362.96, down a nickel. Deere 422.68, down 33. CMS Energy 36.36, down 26. Dow 39.90, up 46. DuPont 75.99, up 4. Corteva 56.62, up 6. General Motors 53.38, down 28. Tricia is 5.09, down 3. Walmart 90.20, down 37. Huntington Bank is unchanged at 16.33. Independent Bank 34.62, down 5. And AT&T is 22.66, up 5.
You have a great day today. Safe New Year celebration. We'll talk to you again on Thursday, Teresa.
Absolutely. Happy New Year to all.
Thank you. Teresa DeVoe over at Baird & Company. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. It's been my pleasure to work for you in 2024. And we look once again toward the new year, a great new year, and hopefully a successful and profitable new year for each and every one of you. Happy New Year from all of us here at WSGW and Farm Service 790. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we conclude our program with a playing of our national anthem.
Oh, yeah. You're doing a final today, obviously.
Yep.
You're going to record one for tomorrow.
Yep.
Okay.
What I'll do is Sharon is having some dental work done at 1:30. So I'm going to have to skate over. It's just right over here. We'll see how she does. And for sure we'll get them done. It's just I might have to send them to you. I don't know.
Ag market's closing early, or?
No, it's regular time. That's what they're telling me.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios. WSGW, second
Nope.
Bay City,
Remote on the 7th.
WSGW-FM,
Be
Carlton.
in Lansing. Okay.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. 2025 is arriving around the world. Bells tolled at the stroke of midnight at Takudai-ji Temple in Tokyo, at Hong Kong's Victoria Harbor. Music and fireworks. One display in the shape of a big tree
Okay,
with
well,
little saplings for the
That night,
city's
when you look at
Symphony of
outdoor things,
Happiness.
in fact,
There are
Tuesday,
12 more
actually,
hours to
March
go
5th
until the
this
crystal
year.
ball
Well, that's,
drops in New
Art
York's
asked me
Times
and I
Square.
said, geez,
Correspondent
I know it's gonna be
says
like
the
really
focus
late
there
this week
is
this year
on
now.
safety.
Authorities
So-
say tonight's security plan has been calibrated to what's happening
Just looking at,
overseas following
regular
the Christmas market attack in Germany. Trucks will be in place to prevent
Trying to think
vehicle
what else.
ramming, a now
We've
common
got-
sight among big events here.
Okay, will be Snowfest on the 29th, that
New
Wednesday.
York City Mayor Eric Adams, there will be musical performances by TLC,
is
the
gonna
Jonas
be
Brothers,
in
and
Mount
Rita
Pleasant.
Ora. The Treasury Department's just announced new
Probably
sanctions on an
the,
affiliate of Iran's
March
Revolutionary Guard
29th.
and on Russia's military
Or no,
intelligence
January.
agency, who are allegedly trying to interfere with the 2024
really?
elections.
Yeah.
Officials accuse
Yeah,
both
they're gonna
countries of
be,
using
well,
artificial
they've got
intelligence
a
to disseminate
pre-open
false
on the
information on
31st,
fake news
but I think
websites,
we'll probably
stoke
be doing a
socio-political
remote there.
tensions. Gas prices
I'm
could
gonna
go down
be
some
in Mount
more in the new
Pleasant
year.
for
Gas Buddy
the
projects the national average will drop to
Rock Summit.
$3.22
It's on the
from this
30th.
year's average of $3.33.
So we've
Analyst
got, that
Patrick
week is
DeHaan.
gonna
The
be
Defense
kinda,
Department said there may
busy.
be some level of
Now, when
deregulation that
is,
occurs. Reducing the amount of regulation on the oil and gas sector may help to incentivize additional production, but it doesn't come without risks.
National average for a gallon of regular today is $3.04. It's $4.35 a gallon in California. New crude airports were packed with travelers this year. The TSA reports screening more than 900 million people. Now, security checkpoints, it's about 5% more than in 2023. A new record for a hit movie.
So that's
Wicked is defying gravity at the box office. It is now the highest grossing movie based on a Broadway musical ever. By Box Office Mojo's count, it's grossed $635 million worldwide since it debuted a month ago. That bests the old record of $611 million set by Mamma Mia in 2008. Wicked began streaming today. It's $20 to rent, $30 to buy. The Dow is down 60 points. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You could save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit progressive.com. Through. This is WSJW News.
oh,
Cloudy skies and 33.
yes, he is.
At 12:03. Good afternoon. I'm Mike.
I don't know what sales I've talked about yet, I mean, but shit, Tiger will be here before you know it.
Well, I know it.
Start thinking about sponsors again.
I know it.
And something that, has not happened, that I've referenced a couple of times, but never got anything.
Traffic stop.
This is 75 years earlier this year.
Say
That's officially when?
August 11th. August. But I'm gonna start put iron messages first. Also, for the entire year, I talked to
57 and
Mark and Terry both. I said,
his name has not been released at this time as his arraignment is pending.
I don't know if you can sell it.
There's a world
For
of
the advertisers,
winter
for glad to
festival in
support.
Grand Rapids.
Oh, yeah.
Reasonably priced packages. Hey, congratulations.
Yeah.
Be a part of it.
It's not
Sorry,
nowhere.
drone shows have been canceled.
I also said, wouldn't it be fun to put together a party
Concerns and safety issues related to drone flights
in
and
August,
shows.
on August 11th?
History of the
Find
dozens
some
of
place,
drones
find a way to invite
that
listeners, as well as any person that's ever worked with any alumni.
According to mysterious objects seem to be coming in from the ocean.
But they've never done anything with it. I started talking about this back in October.
More. The festival
They're looking for sales opportunities. Anything in mind? I said, yeah.
Yeah.
Celebrate
Is your bank
anniversary.
account looking forward to 2025? Michigan News Network's Ryan Recker has this.
But
A new survey by Fidelity found that one